Financial crisis for 1 in 5 student loan borrowers who are seriously delinquent or past due. Today, I read an interesting article on yahoo.com, put out by CBS News and written by Mary Cunningham, titled Collection for Defaulted Student Loans Resumes Impacting Millions. According to the author, millions of student loan borrowers could face a wake-up call on Monday as the Department of Education resumes collecting on school loans. 1 in 5 borrowers is seriously delinquent or has a past due payment of 90 days or more. This is according to TransUnion. Out of 19.6 million student loan borrowers, 20% are at risk of defaulting. If someone has a credit score of 781, it could decline by 175 points because of a student loan default. That means it would drop to 606. My friends, this is not good news. My heart goes out to Americans who are struggling to deal with their student loan debt. At times, life is not easy. We live in a complex world, and it is becoming more difficult to get ahead financially. Many people depend on credit to survive in this world. If your credit drops to 606, life is going to get more difficult. A common definition of subprime credit is a score between 580 to 619. Anything below 580 is considered deep subprime. This means you are going to pay more for a loan if you can get one at all. I truly worry about people who fall into this type of situation. It is unfortunate that some people take out a lot of student loan debt and then never get a job that pays enough to allow them to repay the loans. I think people need to be more strategic when selecting a career path and a college major. Our world is changing and becoming more competitive, and we also have to worry about artificial intelligence replacing jobs. Now, I read several comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, I advise young people to take the route with community college first. You can complete all the prereqs before you get into a major expense. Absolutely do research on any area of study to see what the employment projection is on that field. The next commenter said, many loan borrowers are saying they will not pay back their loans. Go ahead and see how that works out for you. Don't complain later when you can't buy a house or a car. I tell my kids to be sure the person you may want to spend the rest of your life with has at least an average credit score because it will weigh you down for life. The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who asked some questions. So these folks had 5 years of relief. Did any of them save or invest the money they saved on loan payments to make the possible resumption of payments easier to handle? Or did they figure they were entitled to total loan forgiveness? Well, my friends, these commenters always have interesting things to say. Please keep in mind, these are the thoughts of the commenters and not me. There are some people in New York City who probably aren't worried about defaulting on student loans because they are buying multi-million-dollar units in this high rise. Today, I read an interesting article on yahoo.com, put out by Business Insider and written by Lauren Edmonds and Dan Ladu, titled, Owners at a luxury skyscraper on New York City's Billionaire Row say their multi-million-dollar apartments are riddled with defects. The authors of this article discussed how the developers of 432 Park Avenue have been sued twice. This building is 1,396 feet tall. The tower has cracks, leaks, elevator malfunctions, and relentless noise. As I read this article, I thought it was crazy that renting a unit there can cost $1 million a year. To buy a 2-bedroom, it will cost you $10 million. A 4-bedroom will cost you $35 million. My friends, I'm not going to bash on these developers or the people that buy these units. To each their own. For me, I wouldn't be renting a place for $1 million per year, and I certainly wouldn't be buying a 4-bedroom apartment for $35 million. In some parts of America, you can get a really nice mansion for a fraction of that amount. And then you own the land and a quality built structure. I once owned 6 condos in a multi-story building. I had to become the HOA president just to make sure that place was managed correctly. I really didn't want the job, but I wanted to protect my investments. After I sold my units, that place fell apart. I will never buy into any type of shared property ever again. If the structure is not a single-family home on its own land, I have zero interest. I don't care how wealthy the neighbors are. I wouldn't be caught dead in some high-rise with billionaire neighbors. Now, 434 Park Avenue residents have access to 30,000 square feet of amenities, including a restaurant, room service, a pool, a library, a billiards room, a screening room, and a boardroom. Well, you can have all of that in your own house for a lot less than $10 million. I'm not a fan of most modern builds. I don't like the modern style being offered by most builders. I don't like the modern open concept floor plans, and I don't like the quality or lack thereof. A lot of older custom-built homes were a lot better in my opinion. I read some of the comments beneath this article. I'll share some of them with you. The first commenter said, I lived in a high-rise on the 27th floor for a few years. The elevator situation was a nightmare. The sun was relentless, and the unit was hot. I had no yard, but I had a small patio. It had nice ocean views, but not having a yard outweighed any benefit. I now have a half-acre that backs up to a wooded area, and I have fruit trees and plants. I think back to the days of my condo in the sky and the fire above us, where the occupant jumped off the balcony due to the fire. I think about the earthquake where we sat in horror as all the cabinets opened and closed as we swayed side to side. I think about waiting 5 or 6 minutes every time we got back to catch an elevator. Our car getting broken into in the parking garage. The view was nice, but I would rather stay in a nice hotel from time to time and have my home rooted in the soil with a garage I can drive into when I get home. Another commenter said, I remember in the 1970s and 1980s when the mob controlled all construction work in the city through their control of the unions. Yes, it did somewhat inflate prices, but you got much, much better quality of work. This building sounds like a death trap waiting to happen. The next commenter said, most of that building is unoccupied. Many units were purchased by foreigners from Russia and China. It's a way to hide assets that can't be seized by their governments. The last comment that I'll share with you came from someone who said, my home was built in 1900. It has stone and cedar shake facade, slate roof, and plaster walls. All still in beautiful condition, besides replacing some slates occasionally and pointing the stone around the porch. Newer homes are not built to last anymore. Well, my friends, the commenters always have interesting things to say. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.